8 subtle signs your overthinking is really anxiety. Stop calling it overthinking. That word is letting you off the hook. Here's the dark truth. For most people, that constant mental replay, the future-gazing dread, and the crushing inability to make simple decisions is not deep thinking. It's the classic silent symptom of high-functioning anxiety. In the next 5 minutes, you're going to find out where you actually fall on this spectrum. Get ready to test yourself as we reveal the 8 subtle signs of anxiety disguised as overthinking. Overthinking is when you analyze situations, possibilities, and conversations in a loop. Anxiety, however, is when that loop takes on a life or death tone, making you incapable of moving forward. While a normal thinker eventually moves to a solution, an anxious thinker gets trapped in the problem itself. We're starting with a common sign that feels productive but is actually a paralyzing anxiety trap, the relentless replay button. Number 1. You obsessively reanalyze past conversations. It's not just a quick thought about what you could have said. You spend hours, sometimes days, reliving a conversation, a text message, an awkward meeting, searching for every tiny mistake you made. You aren't learning from the past, you are punishing yourself with it. This intense focus on past performance and potential humiliation is a classic anxiety indicator, not just simple reflection. Number 2. You experience decisional paralysis over low-stakes choices. True overthinking helps you weigh complex options. Anxiety, however, shuts down your ability to decide on anything, even small, routine tasks. You spend 30 minutes agonizing over which shirt to wear, what to order for lunch, or what time to send an email. This isn't thoughtfulness, it's the brain being overloaded by perceived stakes that don't actually exist. The underlying fear is that choosing the wrong option will lead to some unseen negative consequence. Number 3. You always jump to the worst-case scenario. When you contemplate the future, your brain doesn't just create a plan, it skips straight to a fictional catastrophe. If a friend doesn't text back immediately, you assume they're angry or have been in an accident. If you missed one deadline, you don't just worry about the job. You spiral into thinking about being fired, defaulting on rent, and being homeless. This catastrophic filtering prevents problem solving and fuels panic, making it a definitive sign of an anxious thought pattern. Number 4. Your thought loop physically exhausts you. Normal deep thinking can be tiring, but it's often productive. Anxiety's overthinking is a drain that leaves you feeling mentally and physically depleted before you even start your day. Do you often feel intense, unexplainable fatigue, a chronic knot in your stomach, or frequent headaches? These are the physical manifestations of a mind constantly running in a high-alert state. This isn't just a mental habit. It's a physiological response that significantly impacts your body. Number 5. You are constantly comparing yourself to an idealized version of others. Healthy reflection motivates you to improve. Anxiety-driven comparison, however, doesn't motivate you. It only reinforces self-criticism. You obsessively look at others' lives, their social media, their career path, their relationships, not to learn, but to measure your own perceived failure against their fictional success. This perpetual feeling that you'll never be good enough is a classic pattern of anxiety and low self-esteem, similar to the damage caused by toxic parental comparisons. Number 6. You delay or avoid making phone calls and important social plans. Overthinking might make you pause before a call, but anxiety makes you actively avoid it. The thought of an unscripted conversation, the possibility of saying the wrong thing, or the obligation of keeping a commitment becomes so overwhelming that you cancel plans or put off necessary communication indefinitely. This is the fear of vulnerability and judgment preventing you from engaging with the real world. Number 7. You can't stop looking for proof of an issue that hasn't happened. This is pure anxiety fuel. Overthinking is the thought, anxiety is the compulsive action. You're not just thinking your partner is angry. You are checking their texts, reviewing their social media activity, or analyzing their tone of voice for definitive proof that the catastrophe is already unfolding. This fixation on external validation or imminent threat is exhausting and destructive to relationships. Number 8. The thoughts don't lead to any solution or closure. This is the crucial distinction. Normal reflection, no matter how intense, eventually drives toward a conclusion, a plan, or an acceptance. Anxiety-driven overthinking is a circular, pointless trap. You know you should stop, but you can't. The thought loops are intrusive and entirely out of your control, leaving you feeling helpless. This loss of internal control is the clearest sign that your problem is clinical anxiety, not just deep thinking. So, you've identified the difference. Your problem isn't just overthinking, it's anxiety. A real physiological and psychological pattern that needs to be treated, not just ignored. Knowing the signs is the first step, but what's the immediate, actionable next step? It comes down to 2 major shifts you can make right now. The immediate action plan: stop the cycle. Action 1. Externalize the loop. The moment you realize you're stuck in a circular, anxious thought loop, you need to get the thoughts out of your head. Open a voice memo app, or take out a piece of paper. Speak or write everything down, word for word, no filtering, until the loop is exhausted. The goal is to move the problem from an internal fear to an external item that you can process and dismiss. Once it's external, it loses its power over your physical state. Action 2. Introduce the reality check. This is a deliberate, forceful pattern interrupt. Whenever you find yourself jumping to the worst-case scenario or feeling paralysis over a low-stakes choice, ask yourself this 3-part question. What is the most likely outcome? What is the actual worst-case scenario? And what would I do next? This forces your brain out of the panic center and into the executive function center, restoring control. This simple technique is about regaining trust in your ability to respond, not just react. If you recognize these patterns and feel this cycle is truly destructive, remember that resources like therapy or counseling are powerful tools for managing complex, long-term anxiety. Don't keep denying yourself the truth. Taking action on your mental health is never destructive. It's necessary. Remember this: you are not defined by your anxiety. You are not alone, and you have the power to take control back. But if you feel overwhelmed and it's too much for you, please speak with a mental health professional. Also, if you want to help others in our community, please tell us in the comments what has helped you the most in your mental health journey.